Welcome to Season 4, Episode 1 of the May Contain Action podcast, your new favorite show discussing movies and the roles they play in our lives. This episode is brought to you by no one yet, but we're excited to bring you on. And heck, I'm jazzed about this first episode for several reasons. One, because I'm back with my buddy Trevor after the new year. Happy 2025, everybody. We made it.
We're still alive.
We're all still
Part of me's
here.
still in 2024.
Who's that
Yeah, I'm
guy?
here.
Do you hear that voice?
I didn't hear a voice. I didn't hear a voice. Everyone, shut up.
I love it. We never tell him. We never tell him to be quiet.
Don't
either.
tell him.
They do this every time we do that.
No,
every
we
time.
do. Yeah, we just assume. We just assume.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, person's voice I can't hear. Trev, dude, how you doing? Just a little check-in. How you doing?
I'm great.
That's so great.
We can introduce him. We can let him in.
All
Let's just
right,
let him in the door.
man.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in. I made it. I'm
Our
here.
first guest of Season 4. You know him. You love him. He's probably represented you in a couple class action lawsuits. The one and only Noah Downs, my lawyer friend, is here.
What's up, my friend?
Fellow podcaster, purveyor of the Forgotten Past podcast, which you may have heard us on a couple
Boom.
times.
Read it. Read the list. The IMDb. Go.
Thank you, podcast dads. The Forgotten Pats podcast, formerly allegedly, and I do other things. I do lawyer shit, but like, go download every episode of Forgotten Pats.
Yeah. There were some recent good holiday specials out, correct?
Some recent holiday specials featuring the further adventures of Greedon and Torthen.
I hear those guys are pretty good.
Yeah, I hear that some very familiar voices are on that. You should definitely go check that out. All 3 holiday specials in case you're not sick of the holidays yet.
Here you go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
check
guys,
them
love
out.
to be here.
We're joined by Tyler Scheid
And Diana of the Rose.
Yes.
and Diana of the Rose. And I got a little bit of a confession. I have been listening to Go Your Favorite Sports Team.
Ooh.
And
there you go.
with Tyler and Markiplier, and that is some high quality content right there.
It's a really good show.
It's very
That's
got
what
a
we
whole
hope to
lot
be
of
one day,
Markiplier
you know?
in it, and yeah, well done. They do that. They do a really good job. So trying to learn some stuff.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm good. How are you guys? Baby's still huge. He's almost 20 pounds now. So
Oh my God.
That's a big boy.
yeah.
Wait,
Can
he's
I-
20 pounds?
Just under. He's like about 19.
That's a
My
big
kid is
boy.
3 weeks older than yours, and he's like 14.
Yeah, he outweighs every baby that we like. Every baby's twice as old, and he's the biggest. It's like he's like because he can't sit up and anything, so he's just huge on the ground, like. And there's these tiny babies, like they're grabbing stuff and reaching over and like touching him, and he's like, on his head, like, what is that? I'm like,
He's gonna see this like
is that
10
a baby?
years.
Is it younger than me? No, none of them are younger than you. You're massive.
He'd be like, screw you, Dad. I'm agile.
But we're getting there. He's
Agile.
starting to move. The other day I put him down on his blanket to look at his mobile, and then I like went and grabbed a diaper because we were about to change him, and I came back just barely in the other room, come back, and he's turned 90 degrees. I'm like, oh, we're getting there.
Nice.
Oh,
We're doing it.
man, He's
He can
moving,
move.
dude.
So
Good.
That's amazing.
it'd be good / terrible. How about you guys? What have you guys been up to? How was your holiday? Because we haven't. It's been a while.
I got along with Noah. You go. Don't.
Yeah, holiday was great. It was, Finn's first Christmas. Trevor and I on the same trajectory. Podcast daddies, as we'll say. Is that a thing? No, it's not. Okay.
Make it one.
And Finn's first Christmas, Finn's first New Year, and then Finn's first snow today here in Virginia.
Ooh.
Yeah, boy loves snow. I took him outside for a struggle angel, which is like a snow angel, but he has no idea what's going on. And
Yeah, I want that. I want to do that now.
He absolutely loved it. But yeah, no, he's doing really well. He rolled over.
Very nice.
Oh man. Okay, so we have this giraffe.
Progress.
Real quick story, and I'll throw it back to Paul.
Oh,
We have
good.
this giraffe that squeaks a lot. He goes, "Quick, like one of the chew toys kind of thing. like a
Oh
rubber
yeah,
duck.
super popular. Yeah.
And so this giraffe, he grabs it, and I'm squeaking it for him, And I make this offhand joke. My wife and I make this joke all the time about like, the old ball and chain nag joke. That's not real. Obviously, I love my wife. She's amazing. Taking
Wink,
care of our
got
child.
it. Wink, got it. Yeah.
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 Hey, enough of that.
Wait. Yeah.
And I make a joke and like it squeaks a lot. And Aaron looks over and I say something to the effect of, "Son, get used to it. It's gonna be what your mom's doing like for the rest of your life." And
Oh.
he looks at the giraffe at that moment and goes, "Mama." And she says, "Look what you've done." I am in so much trouble.
Yes.
But also nice.
Yeah,
But
nice.
also really
Great
nice.
story.
I learned a
Good
lesson
story.
about what not to say around my child. Anyways, Paul.
Very good. Gosh. Oh man, I tell you, I let my chat know about this holiday season. It has been a season. This is my first day in about a week and a half where I haven't had an event.
Wow.
And we have had people over our house. We've gone over houses. We've hosted. We've gone to hostings. We've gone over nights. We've gone to New York City. We got like everything every single day for a week and a half. I am cooked. I'm about done. I've had it. So, but that is over. I think I have 2 weeks of nothing before we go on another like trip. We're going on like a vacation, like a getaway, but we're going with the same people that we've been seeing for the past month. So I don't know how it's a getaway.
Yeah, you're supposed to
We're
get
just-
away from them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just doing what we're doing in a new zip code, and I don't understand how that's like relaxing. Anyway,
Continuity.
yeah, it just makes it harder for me to sleep. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, that's gonna happen. But the holidays were great. Very good. I'm into the games. Marvel Rivals came out. That's a blast. Been grinding that. It's so good. I think you'd love it, Trevor, because it's Overwatch style, and I don't know why you're not playing it. I mean, I do know because I just saw your setup, and it's like setup's insane.
Now it's set up now, though. So now I
But
don't
it
set it up.
is set up.
Beautiful.
Though
which is very good.
about half the stuff broke, so in the stream, but that's okay. It was all custom built, and we hadn't fully tested it all, so
Oh,
we
The
kind of
music
planned.
came in right on time, Trevor. It
The music was good.
At the end. It
The
was
chat
just-
broke.
Yeah.
I was super pumped to have a YouTube chat, and then
Oh,
suddenly
man.
chat didn't work for the last hour, so I didn't see anything YouTube was saying. I was like, well, this is defeating the purpose a little bit, but well, we knew we were trying to get it minimum anyway.
Yeah.
All that travel and event stuff comes off the heels of you doing BAC too, right?
Yeah. It was
great job on that, by the way. That was a phenomenal raise. You did a great job with them.
Thank
too.
you.
So
I appreciate that.
play,
Thank you very
play
much.
live representing in the house. So
Hey, love to
Yeah.
see it. Yeah,
Love
it's an
for the
honor to
kids.
do it. I love doing it. It's super fun, and the people at BAC are incredible. I mean, like Christina and freaking Jason and so many other people that I'm not going to name, Ricky that I'm going to forget, but they're amazing. So the St. Jude people are like a huge reason I do that because they're so easy to work with and so fun. Obviously, the people that I stream with are also great too.
Yeah.
Ames and Lupo and Fab and all them, but it's just a fun thing to be a part of. They make it fun. They don't make it like, hey, where are you? Are you gonna come help or what's going on? Like they're amazing. So thank you very much. BAC is a blast.
Just for those of you that at home that don't know about BAC, Build Against Cancer,
Yes.
St. Jude's streaming initiative, a lot of streamers and creators, and raising lots of money against childhood cancer, and it's awesome. And I was also invited to go to the summit this year and got to go and stuff. So yes, look that up. Look that up if you're interested.
Build Against Cancer.
Please. Speaking, I mean not speaking, but I did have a question for you guys because we're fairly recent here and I haven't talked to you since. So it's a baby thing again. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sure. We're here. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up, dude? Let's talk about it.
Deal
What's
with
going on?
it. When your baby makes its first starts making noises regularly,
Yeah.
Right.
they're all a little bit different, right? It's all a version of goo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
Or
something. Or
Sure.
or whatever it is, like, and they find like the thing that you respond to that, I can do that regularly, so they try to do it all the time to get your
Yes.
attention.
yeah, you move from grunts to inflections.
Yeah, to
Mhm.
inflections. What was Finn's? I need to know, Amelia and Ez's too.
Ezra's,
Like,
yeah.
what were their thing? Because Mads is hilarious.
So Finn, so every time I wake up every morning, Finn's on the bed next to me because Aaron's already up and feeding him stuff. I'd roll over and say, "Good morning, Finn," and I press down on his chest and go, A-E-I-O-U, I love you, and I touch his face. And at the end of it, his first inflections were mimicking me, going, Oh. That was him. Oh, you
That's
Paul.
awesome. What is that like? What are you?
Oh no, I'm
Are you
just making it up
casting a
as I go
spell?
along.
Like what's
just
happening?
made it
Yeah,
up.
no,
with
I'm casting a hey, get your vows right, and then tell me you love me because I have desperate need for validation from my 4-month-old.
Oh,
So
amazing.
yeah, no, and the physical touch, I heard if you combine that with the repetition, it teaches a little bit better.
Oh, cool. I did not
Yeah,
know that. Very neat. Yeah, so I actually don't remember what Ezra's was. I'm pretty sure his first words were Dada though.
good.
So that's cool. But right now Amelia is just making eye contact with anyone she can and going, ah, and then like
Grunting.
waiting. Ah, yeah. And as soon as someone says it back, she smiles and buries her face in whoever she's with.
Oh, so she's like super shy.
Yeah,
Get your
like,
attention, and you look at her. She's like, ah. Like,
yeah,
that's,
exactly.
That's so cute.
So cute.
Oh,
Yeah, that's her right now.
Well, we have I'm going to tell you a little bit about. We have a friend who has a baby about a couple months older than. No, he's about 8 months now. His name's Arlo. He's another massive human being.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And he's got dada and mama down. But when he's in his crib, if he's calling for one of his parents, because he calls for either one, like he can say both of their names or both of them. So it'd be like da, like say it really fast and be like, all right, I'm coming. His name's Jesse. But then when he wants his mom, Paige, she's hilarious. If you knew her, this makes sense. He goes, Mom, like he goes, Mom, like he's freaking a teenager. And she's like,
That's
are you
amazing.
serious? And so it turns out that the dad kind of taught him to do that because it's funny.
Oh my goodness.
But Mads tried to do the go. So
Yeah.
Kate and I were howling, like going, ooh, like we're a wolf pack to try to get him to do that. So for a while he couldn't like get it. And he's just so gurgly and burpy all the time. He's just the burpiest boy ever. So he'd always have like a little phlegm. So
Yeah,
one day he goes, and like gargles, does a little roll. So now he'll only like try to talk if he can gargle.
Oh my God, are you
So
serious?
I can see his mouth going, like he's trying to make sound, but he doesn't have the so he doesn't want to do it. And then when he's really happy, he goes,
He only wants to roll his R's and say it with
Really?
So, and
phlegm.
then Kate and I can roll our R's. We're like, and he just does it back. So we're purring at each
Dude.
other.
That's
And,
amazing.
and Marmalade purrs over him all the time. So I think he's
Yeah.
like, that's what he's doing. He's purring like a cat.
He
That's
thinks you're
wild.
cats.
You say that because when Amelia is distressed, to comfort herself when she cries or gets upset, she'll go and like
Yeah.
literally Chewbacca. She Chewbacca's, and it's the hardest thing to take her
That's
seriously.
Oh
She'll just roll. I don't know how she does it in the back of her throat.
Yeah.
That's how she cries.
And so
Wow.
that's all he does all day.
Gargles. She cries.
That's all he
See,
does.
Finn just gets super hiccupy and like he'll just do the lip quiver.
Yeah.
Oh, the lip quiver. I
Oh,
didn't know
it
that was real
kills me.
until I saw it. I thought it was like that was fake.
He just goes, I'm like, no, okay, whatever you want. And I just pick him up and walk.
You know, that's like I looked it up. It's like an involuntary, like it's just their nervous system,
Crazy.
but it
I
just
didn't know
happens
that
to get
was a thing.
attached to something. But it is like, I was like, are you cold?
Dude,
Do you need
that and eye rubbing? I thought that was like, like, oh, I'm tired, but like, no, they actually do that.
They just rub their
all
eyes all the time. Yeah,
Wait,
constantly.
Finn doesn't rub his eyes at all.
My guy's doing the stretch and just.
Oh yeah, Finn does that.
His morning stretch is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And-
but Finn doesn't rub his eyes at all. He chews on his knuckles a lot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
about it.
Okay. We got that going.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, our babies are crazy. Our babies are nuts.
Matt can only chew on one of his massive hands at a time, though.
I feel like the baby update should be a segment in season 4, and I'll just like the shows I'm not on, I'll send you an update or something.
Baby
like
update.
That. Yeah.
Baby update. Baby update.
Like, looks like Noah's baby walked today. Fantastic. Love
a
that.
lot,
Baby
lot
update.
going on.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's get into the show more because I got to get home because we got tummy time planned.
Tummy time.
I have to read a story after this, so
this guy's melon. He needs to start working on it because he's Kate keeps saying he's gonna be slow. He's big. He's gonna take him a while. I'm like, no, it's not. We're gonna train. We're gonna train right now. He's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, sorry. I was big. It's part of it. We're already not gonna be able to find shoes for him.
Size 14s, extra wide.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
Extra wide.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, man. That's what I wore outside today. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, he's screwed. Yeah, and he's gonna bump into stuff. I keep telling him, like, see this? I spill something on myself. I'm like, it's gonna be you. You're gonna be goofy. No, we're gonna put him in gymnastics. It's gonna be fine. Guys,
Yeah.
it's been great. I'm glad you're here. Do you guys want to talk about a movie? Noah gave us a movie. Noah, would you like to present first of all, we were going to do Megalopolis. I know we said this at the end of last season.
We did say it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that I watched it, but these two guys tried to watch it a couple days before, and it is out of streaming for a 2-week period. There was I looked.
Oh, it's a 2-week period. Okay, so it's coming on to
weird.
another one.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out like mid-January on Apple TV. So we're in between platforms, so you can't get it. So I had written the whole thing. I had the whole rundown, everything. So we're gonna do it eventually, because we're getting into award season, and the Golden Globes just recently, and it would have been, and that's a movie.
You think that's gonna win awards? That movie?
It's nominated for stuff. It shouldn't be, but it
Shame.
is.
Yikes.
So we're not doing that. So what are we doing instead? Noah chose one of his good favorite movies that I haven't seen in a long time, so I thought we'd do it. What did you?
We chose the 2005 classic Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I almost just stole the movie theater voice from the role with the synopsis from Paul. I almost did.
That's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
Do
This
it.
is mine now.
Yeah, you do it.
Take it.
Read us the synopsis.
Take it.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith follows John and Jane Smith, a seemingly ordinary married couple stuck in a mundane relationship who each harbor a secret. They are highly skilled assassins working for rival agencies. When they are assigned to eliminate the same target, they discover each other's true identities, igniting a dangerous and explosive showdown.
Oh.
As the couple's professional and personal lives collide, their marriage is tested in a high-stakes battle of wits, weapons, and love.
What a great little ending, right?
Yeah, right? That was perfect. I love that.
Nicely done.
Really nice.
Very
Well
nice.
Great.
done. I don't really agree with the mundane. I'm like, your guys' live relationship is awesome.
It's, I don't know. Wait, what?
No,
Like
no,
at
I'm
the
just saying, like,
beginning
the
of the
house,
show?
when they're faking it at the beginning.
Oh,
like,
oh,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you guys are like the freaking Keeping Up with the Joneses, like, beautiful. You met in Bogota
Yeah.
randomly.
Which, by the way, wasn't actually Bogota.
I
That
don't
was a
understand.
whole controversy when the movie came out. The people in Bogota got super pissed at them for misrepresenting what the city looked like.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Really? They didn't like.
Yeah,
it was
like
on
they
fire?
invited them down to say, hey, we're not like super war torn in the middle of a jungle, guys. And like,
Yeah, that
invited
was a
them
little
down.
confusing.
Yeah.
They did kind of just show it as like a super third world, like
Like it was Cuba or something.
yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, we will get into that.
Cuba.
But we watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith, not to be confused with the show that Noah has also mentioned in our text messages. The new Donald Glover version, which is Paul, you haven't seen it, have you?
I've not
It
seen
is
it.
wonderful. Watch it.
It's
It's a
fantastic.
different premise a little bit. Like they know they're assassins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this
Whereas,
isn't a spoiler. It just happens right at the beginning. They like
whereas-
match people up to be married couples.
yeah, whereas in this movie,
Oh.
they don't know. In that one, they specifically know. And it's all apparently in the same universe. And
Yeah.
this is just 20 years later.
It's just like they're like, that didn't work very well. Let's actually do this as a feature, not a bug.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, and it's really, I mean, honestly, Donald Glover doesn't miss. He really
Yeah,
doesn't.
no.
So
He can't.
it's great. Watch it if you haven't. And we have a new segment. What are the critics saying? What the critics are saying. I did it. See, it's new. I had to read it twice. And we went and found some good and some bad critic reviews from some people that you will probably know their names, because this is 2005, and that's when critics were like, was an actual profession.
Thing.
Paul, would you like to take us through the professional critic reviews?
I'd love to. We have the good and the bad. Let's start with the good. David Anson, Newsweek. I liked it. It has what's missing from contemporary multiplex fare: originality, ambition, metal. And that's what I turn to Coppola for. Coppola?
Oh.
What's
Yeah.
that? Like
Jesus. Hey, it's a little shout out to Coppola. Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
I don't know what that is.
Francis Ford
okay.
Coppola. He made Megalopolis and The
Oh, I
Godfather.
see the
and-
last name.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
is this the location? Okay.
Which also bold move, saying I go to Coppola for stuff like this. Easy.
yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
It's not The Godfather.
Yeah, David. Idiot. Just kidding if you're listening.
He's probably
Ken
dead.
Tucker, New York Magazine. Mr. and Mrs. Smith works on almost every level and against all odds. Richard Roper of Ebert and Roper said, very good.
Man of few words, Mr. Roper.
It was getting old.
But you guys know Ebert and Roper.
Didn't one of them pass, or both of them, actually?
I believe Ebert.
Yeah. This is a regular occurrence on this podcast where we talk about so-and-so should be in a movie. They passed away 10 years ago.
Oh, no.
Yep, happens all the time. The Bad, Andrew Saris, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, from The Observer. Have we lost our minds and souls so completely to celebrity worship that drivel like Mr. and Mrs. Smith can thrive and prosper? That man had a bad day.
Yeah.
That man got a parking ticket or something. Jeff Peveri, again, so sorry if I'm butchering that name. Toronto star, a movie so in love with itself, it hardly needs us at all.
I like
That's
that.
actually.
Is that a bad review? I don't know.
I don't know.
Canadians, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And last one, Michael Wilmington from the Chicago Tribune. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie looked like they had a terrific time making Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but I certainly didn't have a good time watching it. Neither, I suspect, will many of you.
Well, Mike.
Well put.
Those are
Jesus,
savage,
Mike.
dude. The
Yeah.
bad reviews are great.
Yeah. I can't. And not only that, people who are like professional writers writing bad reviews,
Yeah.
even better.
Yes. The sass.
Wow.
I mean, he's right. Brad and Angelina definitely they had a good time.
Oh.
They were.
Oh, they had a
good time.
great time.
Which for a lot of reasons.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Of course.
And we, as we always do, we have our letterbox review.
Yep.
And we're gonna go with one because this one was just good. I think good top to bottom. I think it really encapsulates everything that we have talked about so far and are going to talk about in the future. 4 stars from Leonard, just Leonard. There's so much I could say about this, but damn, I love being bisexual. Because it's the two most beautiful people that are on the planet in 2005. Just as assassins, and of course, what do? They make Angelina Jolie be a dominatrix for the first.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Of course
Yes.
they did.
Is that what that was? I wasn't sure what that whole bit was. I don't understand.
I've never heard of that or seen that. Type of
Never
stuff.
seen
It
leather
was jarring. Must have been a 2005 thing. No TikTok back then. Great reviews. Got me fired up. I actually read them before I watched the movie again. And also, just a reminder, anyone else, if you have a review that you either found and you love, or you wrote yourself and you really want to see if we'll say it on the podcast, you can send that to maycontainctionpodcast@gmail.com. That is maycontainctionpodcast@gmail.com. And we might just read it or just join the Discord and say it in there because you'll probably get seen because there's not a lot of stuff being said there.
I hate to be that guy. It does say may contain action pod.
@maycontainctionpod@gmail.
Gmail.
Actually, we technically have both emails.
Oh, do we really?
Oh, good. Did they
But
point to
yes,
each
it
other?
is
Or you just
pod.
checked two
Thank you so much.
inboxes?
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome back. God damn it.
So wait, can they send like a review for Mr. and Mrs. Smith to you, and you'll read it on the next one?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
we can do
That's
that. We're actually going to get better at telling you about the next movie too at the end of the show.
I
no,
don't
of
believe
course.
you, so I'm
do
gonna
we
say
know the
do
next
everything
one?
I said.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, you actually do because I scheduled them. I think.
Oh, well then we do. You'll just have to tell me which one's first.
Yeah.
Great. Noah, I need you to do the honors here. We do a little industry stats. We want to know how much money they made, all this stuff. You want to take us through these real quick? Some
Yeah,
awards
let's do it.
nominations. Who's in it? What's going on?
Yeah. Perfect. I love this. So industry stats: the box office performance with a budget of $110 million, it made $487 million worldwide. Did very good at the box office.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of had to, right? The awards and nominations. It was nominated for Best Action Adventure Movie Actor, Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie won the Best Action Adventure Movie Actress at the Teen Choice Awards.
Nice.
At the MTV Movie Awards, Pitt and Jolie both won for Best Fight Scene, obviously with each other, and it was also nominated for Best Movie, but did not win. Casting crew, the director was Doug Lyman. who has done some other cool stuff, I think.
The Bourne Identity.
Yeah, that's right, because you can
Oh.
definitely tell. I was about
Yeah.
to say, the
Know that.
screenwriter was Simon Kinberg. Interestingly, by the way, the screenwriter, it was his spec script that he wrote when he was an undergrad,
Yeah.
and then he
Oh,
sold
wow.
it. Producers were Akiva Goldsman and Lucas Foster. Cinematography by I'm gonna butcher this.
Yeah.
Bojan Bazelli or Bojan Bazelli.
Bazzelli, duh.
Bojan Bazelli.
I
Music,
got it.
John Powell, and the main cast was Brad Pitt as John Smith, Angelina Jolie as Jane Smith, Vince Vaughn as Eddie, and Adam Brody, of all people, as Benjamin Dance.
So
Adam
weird.
Brody in 2005, right?
Yeah.
Kerry Washington as Jasmine, but you left. This is the main cast. I'm going to add on here. This had some very secret other cool cast members too. I don't know if you two know about this. It had Angela Bassett as the voice of John's boss, Atlanta.
Oh, that was her.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. Did not know.
Had William Fichtner as Dr. Wexler, the voice of Dr. Wexler. You'll remember him from he was in Armageddon, Black Hawk Down, Perfect Storm. And then who else did it have? There was another really good one. It had Jennifer Morrison as Jade. You'll remember Jennifer Morrison was one of the original cast members on House. Was one of the three student doctors under House.
She's one of
she's one of the three.
One of three.
Yeah. So it had a lot of really good people early in their careers on this.
It was. Pretty much every actor that was in her girl crew, they're all in they all ended up being in some sort of action movie like this as some sort of lead, or like in CSI or something. They were all been badass women in something.
And Keith David played Father, which is the head of the organization for Jane Smith's organization.
Father, which is a play on that's a spinoff of Bond.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh no, Charlie's Angels. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It makes
Which
a lot
came
of
out in 2000, I think. The Cameron Diaz version, at least.
So you mentioned the screenplay was written in undergrad at Columbia. It was actually an assignment that he then expanded on. Yes, it was part of the film study. But he's just fascinated with action movies and then relationships and how they're represented in action movies.
Cool.
So that was his thesis. And he's like, well, I'll write this spec script where you represent a relationship through action. And this is what they came up with. And it ended up having Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt as the mains.
Originally had Nicole Kidman, too.
Amazing.
It did. And Nicole Kidman, it couldn't do it because of what movie, Noah?
I have no idea.
Basically,
I just know random stuff.
She entered her current Nicole Kidman phase, The Stepford Wives, and now she's been that ever since.
Yes.
Wow.
That creepy, robotic-looking.
Wow.
She somehow still is that in every role. I don't know.
She is. She nails it.
That's wild.
Yeah. So Nicole Kidman couldn't do it for that, and because of that movie, and some other people that were in the running for Jane after Nicole Kidman dropped out. So they didn't have any. They didn't just go straight to Angelina Jolie.
Right.
She was part of a group. It was Cate Blanchett.
That would have been great.
Was asked about it. Gwen Stefani. And Eva Green. And I'm blanking on what Eva Green was in, but
Casino Royale.
Yes. Which I think that was a little too
remake
on the nose.
The 100 sequel. Yeah.
So Angelina Jolie obviously had Tomb Raider already.
Eva Green would have been great for that, though. She has that kind of same stare that Angelina Jolie has. That kind of seductive.
Yeah, that
deadpan.
intense
Yeah. The eyes, dude. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yeah.
Stefani, nah.
I don't see that at all.
And I'm never going to
sing
count
a song. What's going to happen?
And I'm just like a ska. Is she gonna bring the ska band? And I'll never count Cate Blanchett out, but
no.
She doesn't profile perfectly as this type of character, especially in kind of this kind of. It's a little goofier than she is, but she's such a good actor that.
Yeah, she could Cate Blanchett it up. I bet they'd probably do rewrites to fit it for her. Listen, Cate Blanchett's a verb now.
You know who else could have done it? And I know they're not we're not doing this right now, but I'm thinking, is it Kate Beckinsale who did
Oh yeah,
Underworld?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She could have crushed it.
Oh yeah, doing great.
Yeah.
Fits the profile, everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Or that lady from Aeon Flux.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Or let's just go Mia from Fifth Element too. Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Any of the femme fatales of the 2000s.
Yeah, she would have been great. She would have been great. A little more background. Here's some more fun facts for you.
What we got?
So obviously, Kimberg wrote it, or not Kimberg, Lyman wrote it. Kimberg is the director, and they brought him in, who he just done Born Identity, and I believe produced another one of the Bourne movies. So like action, he was kind of the action dude, and loved the script. Was like, this is awesome. I'm so excited, and was a big reason that they got Pitt. And Pitt was like, yeah, dude, I'm in. It's 2005. Like, I'm Brad Pitt.
How my career? Come on, look at me.
How much money?
Doing everything.
Okay, let's do it. And of course, it made half a bill, so they're fine. And then pretty much less than half of the lines that Vince Vaughn had, were scripted.
That's
Surprise!
amazing.
Less than half.
That's
of
Less
course.
than half. He
That's
improvised
so cool.
almost everything. So the whole time when Brad Pitt closes the door on him after he says the thing about his mom, she's a great lady, just kept going. Wasn't supposed to say anything else.
That's amazing.
Just kept yelling stuff, and they just used it because
That's so good.
he's Vince Vaughn. You know what's funny? We never really see Vince Vaughn do anything like actiony. It's just all implied.
It
Which
is.
is
Yeah.
so funny because it's like Brad and Angelina are kind of the only two people in the movie.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, the closest Vince Vaughn gets is when he just like cocks the ever-loving shit out of a shotgun when he's about to shoot his mom.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yep.
Mother!
I almost killed
you
right now.
You don't even realize.
Actually,
now.
from Born Identity, Julia Stiles might have been a really good pick for this if she had a little bit more like in the smash 'em, kick 'em action chops.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I got to work with Julia Stiles when I was at Virginia Tech, actually, on a show.
Really?
Yeah, an undergrad.
Nice.
She's very
Nice.
cool.
A couple other little quick quips before we get into our categories. Most of the effects are practical. There's very little CGI or any cleaning up. Post effects. There's a little bit, but not a ton. They did a lot of their own stuff. Tons of stuntmen and people involved in this. The house being destroyed, the set is actually destroyed. Like
Awesome.
Oh, that's
like
very
they
cool.
just left it that way because it was like, and then they just ended up bulldozing it. So it all that stuff actually got destroyed. But the big story is Brangelina, and this is when it happened. 2005,
Brangelina.
big scandal. Actually, a couple of these were happening around this time, where people were breaking up and getting together on movies, and so that chemistry you see, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makeup scene, they might actually do it.
Although allegedly, they
Yes.
did not engage in any physical relationship or any relationship tampering while they were together because he was still married to Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
And they filed for divorce literally as the movie wrapped.
Yeah, like separation by the end of it, and then Angelina Jolie was pregnant with Brad Pitt's kid by the beginning of 2006.
Surprise! So it's kind of like if your
Well.
girlfriend went to summer camp, came back, broke up with you.
Yeah, a
And
little
then you're
bit.
there like, oh, did you hook up with you? No, I waited. Did you?
I waited.
Did you?
I waited.
But
Feels like you didn't.
basically, marketing for this movie was they had a huge plan, and it basically just got overshadowed by this whole scandal thing, and it was the best thing that ever happened to the movie.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
opening
yeah.
weekend, it was huge
Price and
because
effect.
everyone's like,
Really
we got to see how they interact.
Yeah.
Which another version of this, by the way, anyone who's seen Wicked,
Yeah.
it's the other way though. It's like
I haven't seen Wicked yet.
you haven't seen it.
It's
Basically,
really
the
good.
character that's allegedly, I don't know actually if this has been verified, but Ariana Grande and the weird dude who looks like her brother, the curly haired
yeah.
guy, he's like a minor character. Like in the movie, you're like, you what?
Oh yeah.
What? That guy? You chose that
Bach,
guy?
right? The guy playing Bach.
But it also
Oh.
turns out there wasn't that many straight men on stage on the set. So
Huh.
It's a Broadway.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
stage actors in the movie. Yes, Yes. And the main
Yeah.
heartthrob guy, very gay. Very gay.
Incredibly.
Very
Extremely.
gay.
He's
And-
awesome. He does a great job, but he is
Good
so
for
gay.
all of them because that show. I'll be honest. I working in the theater scene. There's not a lot of straight men that could pull off all those dance moves.
No, there really isn't. There really isn't. Anywho, so yeah, if you watch that one and keep in mind that they, it's just very confusing. I'm still confused.
Yeah.
I watched it for 3 hours and never got on confused.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah, great little movie. Great
Nice.
little fun little romp. But yeah, the relationship was big. They met on set, and it, like Noah mentioned before, allegedly nothing happened,
Yes.
and it was done above board. They filled out
Yep.
the paperwork before, allegedly, and as we
Allegedly.
know, they're no longer together either. So pattern of behavior.
True.
But
Now,
not here to
I will say that at the time of filming, if you do the math, Angelina Jolie was 30.
Okay. They were 30?
mm-hmm.
Brad, Brad, because we're tight. Brad was 42.
That's 42-year-old Brad. We should be so lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 42. She was
Born in
30?
63. He's 61 now.
God, he's just
God's favorite child. He
Cool.
just turned 61 on December 18th. I know way too much about Brad Pitt.
Oh my gosh. That's my
Still doing it.
Achilles right there.
another movie where he's
damn.
constantly eating. By the way,
He
That's
is
the thing
always
that he
he's
does,
eating
actually.
a lot. Yeah.
So he does that intentionally.
Yeah. he's
yeah,
a
he
master
does?
eater.
He and Robert Downey Jr. both do that intentionally.
Really?
Eat a lot?
They hide snacks around set because they think it's more interesting to interact with them.
Yeah. And
think it's more
Brad a lot of
interesting
times actually eats because
Yeah.
he doesn't have to retake. It depends on the movies. If he were in a Fincher movie, he would not eat. Like in Seven.
No. Yeah.
He was not eating because he was going to
No.
have to do it 15 times every single time.
Yeah.
But he eats. He's like he actually. There's someone did the numbers, and in movies where Brad Pitt is eating, they make he has made 4 times more money in those movies. Those movies have made 4 times as much money as movies he's not eating in.
That's amazing because
And
he's more
Robert Downey
interesting.
Jr. is like double.
Yeah.
That's
I
fascinating.
will also say, Trevor, you mentioned that they're mostly practical effects, very little green screen. There's one particular scene, the scene where Jane Smith leaves in the car and
Mhm.
Brad runs through all the backyards.
Yeah.
And if you're going to talk about this later, cut me off right now.
No.
But
Wow.
so they're running through, and the scene where he's in the car and he turns around, looks out the back window, and says, "We need to talk."
Yeah.
His face in that back window is completely green screened in.
Yeah.
But that one line is all that survived an accidental destruction of the film that
Oh.
originally filmed that scene.
Really?
So they accidentally, because the film got completely like wasted in the bath that they used to cure it, because they're using like regular film here, they're not using digital, and so that is all they could salvage for it, and then they green screened it into the back of the car, and that's why if you look very closely, it's just disproportional. Just
you can tell it's not moving
Yeah.
quite as quickly either. You can tell. There's
Yeah.
a couple little interesting. I didn't notice that one. There is some interesting like cleanup movie things. Like for example, when the guy's like limo and he's like and he throws him out. They speed it up.
Oh, they sped that up.
Slightly,
Yeah, I noticed that.
And it's not sped up in a way you're supposed to notice. They just sped it up because he must have like fumbled or like something didn't go very fast.
In the same vein, that same scene actually, the where he runs into the fence and the gun goes off.
Yeah.
First of all, that was supposed to be a car chase scene. It wasn't supposed to be him running through the neighborhoods, but they ran out of budget for a car chase scene. And so he was going to run. He was going to hit the fence, fall over it, fire, etc. The windshield already had the bullet hole in it, but they added it in later, and covered it with a flare. And then, but he ran into the wrong part of the fence, and actually broke the fence. And so the scene so he surprised himself because it broke in a way he wasn't expecting because he ran into the wrong part. So he ad-libbed the next line where he says, "Oh, mother of God." And that reaction is the take that they actually kept because it was so genuine.
Yeah.
Wow.
The limp had to be genuine because he hit it hard.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did. Okay.
Real hard.
It was almost awkward to where you knew it was real. It was so
Yeah.
awkward that it was real because he's
So the
so
reason
like on top of it the whole movie, and then that
The
one
whole
time,
time.
he fucking fence. Yeah.
So
Guys,
the
I'm still
reason I
on the
know that
food
is
thing,
is
by the way.
because this movie came out in 2005. I had the DVD of it at home
Okay.
as a kid, and so this is on the DVD's like special features extra stuff.
Wow, DVD, man.
Yeah,
Specials extra. Okay, so now that leads us kind of into the great segue, dude. You did it great.
I know.
So
Nice
okay,
job.
so why pick this movie? What is the significance? Was this just like we have this DVD? I'm just gonna watch the shit out of it.
So this was one of the first movies that my parents kind of let me watch that had like just it clearly had like sex all over it.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
this is the kind of movie that as an adult, who was it that said it earlier? Oh yeah, I was talking to our good friend Mick Laffy Taffy, friend of the pod, who I was talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith just kind of randomly, and because it was on my mind because of the show. He said, "Oh yeah, that's the movie you put on when you really want to have sex with your wife. Like that's the movie you put on to get everybody in the mood."
That's fair.
And so as a 14-year-old when this came out, I was right in the middle of that hormonal phase, and I was like, "This
Yeah.
movie's amazing." So I got on DVD, etc. I loved it because it was like action and it was sexy, and I was like a theater kid. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do all this." I was learning how to do stunts, like as part of my theater stuff. It's everything that I wanted.
So you're a
And
14-year-old boy. That's why.
14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about the movie for a decade. And then I started flying for work, and it's on every single Delta in flight for the rest of time. So when I have nothing else, I turn on Mr. and Mrs. Smith and just rewatch it on the Delta in flight from wherever I'm going. It's the perfect length of time if you have a connection. It's like if I'm flying Richmond, because I'm based in Richmond to Detroit to Seattle, it's the perfect length of time right in there where I can watch it, have a snack, and then get off the plane.
Oh,
It is good. It is a good film
good
or
practical use.
flight.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
I'm
Hour
forced
50.
to like this movie by hormones and time.
Hormones and time. Got it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. 14-year-old.
Hormones
This
and
comes
time.
out. Duh.
Duh.
Got everything. Only thing missing is. Nope. There's nothing missing. It's perfect.
Nothing.
No, it's pretty much perfect. Yeah, because it even
No poop
has
jokes.
the Vince Vaughn
Yeah.
kind of like that what do we talk about? That Judd Apatow
Yeah.
kind of like ad-libbed joking that we used to, or at least that I liked. I think Trevor liked as well.
Yeah.
Of like the what was it? Wedding Crashers and
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Yeah,
Yeah.
all that.
Around
So it
that
had a
time.
little sprinkle of that too, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's weird is I forgot Adam Brody was in this, and I was watching it last night before the recording just to refresh myself with Erin, my wife, and she was like, "Adam Brody's in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What a weird role.
what he
Totally
was in?
forgot, yeah.
What series was he in? Gilmore Girls."
Oh, was he?
And she was like, he was the bad boyfriend in Gilmore Girls. I'm like, oh, okay.
Was he?
I have no idea.
In
I've never watched
college?
Gilmore Girls.
No.
He's annoying as hell in
I
this
watched-
movie, so that's crazy.
I watched a lot of Gilmore Girls. I don't think Adam Brody is in Gilmore Girls, but it is.
Is he
it's a different
not?
show.
You've watched
it's a show.
a lot of
It's
Gilmore
like
Girls?
it's the OC.
Oh.
Or something.
Adam Brody. Hold on, let's see if my wife is correct or wrong.
Should I be
He
watching
was in Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, no.
The OC, yeah.
He's also in the
Gilmore
OC.
Girls.
Oh, well, he's both.
He actually left
Oh,
Gilmore Girls to be on the OC.
Okay.
I mean,
I
who
felt
wouldn't?
like I felt the OC is what got like was because he was a main character in there.
Yeah.
And we all just remember Rory, right? Okay, let's get some ratings because I need you guys to ask these ratings. Paul, you start us off.
do it.
Okay.
All
Rotten
right.
Tomatoes, IMDb, Letterboxd. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
No, of course. Again, I'm sorry. Are we doing the combined score for Rotten Tomatoes? Or are we doing the
You can do the what was the popcorn meter is the two scores. Just saying both.
Okay.
Focus both.
I'm going to say the critics is going to be an 82. I'm going to say that the actually no. I'm going to switch. I say on a critics is going to be 76. Audience is going to be 82. Then I'm going to say that IMDb score is going to be a 7.5, and then Letterboxd is going to be pretty popular. I think it's going to be like a 3.1.
So Letterboxd being out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is going to be 79.
Okay.
I think critic score What did the critics say? Hold on, scroll back up on our show notes. What did the critics say?
Ooh, we're getting
Are
serious.
you cheating? What is happening right now?
No, I'm
You looked
not
at the
cheating. What?
IMDb?
No.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt liked it, but you won't. Like that's mostly what.
Got cheating?
I'd say 50
Whoa.
with the critics.
Okay.
Damn.
It's that kind of movie.
Damn.
And then 50-ish, and then IMDb, it's out of 10.
Yep.
7.5. I think Paul's spot on there. And then Letterboxd, I'm gonna go with 4.
So Rotten Tomatoes,
Oh.
you're about to get your minds boggled. Critics
Okay.
60,
Oh, damn.
audience 58.
What?
Yeah,
What?
rotten. They gave it a little bit of a rotten. This might have been after the fact.
I was gonna say, imagine making
Was this
almost
review
half a
bomb because of the
bill.
Brangelina stuff?
Maybe. You know what I mean? Like it's Rotten Tomatoes too. It's been around for a long time, actually, since about then. So it could have been early, some early waiting. IMDb 6.5, which is pretty average, pretty normal, maybe slightly above. It can be a little harsh at times. And then Letterboxd was 3.2, which is solid. That's a
almost
rewatchable
nailed it.
movie.
Paul, good job.
You never know. You never know with Letterboxd. Letterboxd could just be all of it.
Paul, you price is right at that thing.
Yeah, he's.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
what
I
is
feel like
this
going
episode
over.
40 for you? Yeah. So
What do I win? A laundry detergent?
you get
What do you
to.
get?
You know what you got to do? A bunch
on the
more
next show.
episodes.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Bunch more episodes of the show.
Good.
So yeah, pretty middling, frankly. It's kind of
wild.
surprising because the
It is.
absolute movie stars at the time.
It's a lot of really bad opinions.
Yeah, really bad. What about? Or I'll start us off here. Vivian Ward rating. You know, Vivian Ward, if you are familiar, is from Pretty Woman. Her strutting down the street, one of the best intros of a movie.
Ever.
Hands out. And you know, a lot of people feel that way. So if we give her, she's the 10. I give it a 6.5 because I think it sets up we're in therapy. It sets up the story pretty well. And they bookending it that way kind of gives it that like we're working on it vibe.
Yes.
Which it's pretty. I think there's good continuity through the movie. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that you're just like, dude, what up? What are you guys doing? But he obviously tried to do it well. Some are just like, it was 2002 and there's 2 assassins, and I'm glad that didn't happen. You know, the Sopranos that started with therapy, so they went for it.
Exactly.
I liked it. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Noah?
Okay. I honestly really liked it because I think it really kind of sets up because it's bookended so nicely and it's got like the middle section too. I would give the opening scene probably, of course, I picked the movie, so 7.75.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to
Not
double
7
decimals.
or
Got it.
7.5. 7.75.
By the way, really interesting little tidbit in that beginning part. When he goes 5 years, she's like 6. At that time, he had been with Jennifer Aniston for 5 years, and then they get divorced.
Oh, that's brutal.
Coincidence?
Oh
Not a
gosh.
little
He's
clinky
like,
dink.
he had that like 5 years about that time, like vibe, and it just so happened his real relationship, he was there. Anyway, Paul, how do you feel about it?
Yeah. So I actually, I give this an 8. I think it's really good. I think it really sets up a couple of things. I think it sets up what we're looking at. It's 2 people. It's the main story. It's about these 2 people. That's what you start off with. So you see exactly who you're dealing with, and you immediately see their chemistry. You immediately see that. And I'm going to include Bogota in the opening scene, kind of, to be honest with you, because I feel like it's a part of it. It's a bit of a flashback, but it's an immediate part of the intro. So I kind of include that. And that sets up the romantic part, and then it also sets up the awkward tension part where you know that they're not being honest with each other. So I think it basically lays out, this is what this movie is about. There's literally nothing else. This is the movie. So as far as like Pretty Woman, it's exactly what, you know what I mean? I kind of take it more literally, like this is exactly what we're going to be dealing with for the whole movie. Next 2 hours. I don't know if you heard that scream, that was my son in the background. Just top of his lungs. But that is, I think it's an 8. It's really good.
Solid.
I love that. I agree with you.
A lot of love. A lot of love for the intro on this one.
It was a fantastic intro. Like, if pulling in Bogota, like I agree, it easily goes up to an 8. Because you see that they're lying to each other from the beginning.
Very beginning. Yeah.
And that ties into later on when they say, we're going to have to redo every conversation we've ever had.
That's a good quote.
Yeah. which is pretty cool.
There's a lot here that we're about to chat about too, but we got to talk about some Vince Vaughn awards for quotes, just because Vince Vaughn always has the quotes. And I'm going to take the reins on this one I only got one. I usually have like 71.
Yeah.
Only taking one, but I'm stealing it because we already mentioned it. And it is actually Vince Vaughn. But when he says, "Mom, we are on high alert right now."
Yes.
He goes, he cocks the gun. He goes, "I almost just killed you right now." Like, that's
So
great. And it was at least the right now was ad-libbed. Had to be. Probably the gun cock too. I bet you everyone's laughing in the background.
Yes, dude. Yes.
But that was up there. And then I liked the, oh my God, we're going to have to redo every
conversation we've ever had.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
I think I wrote it down over here. I think that my favorite, just because it was like so unexpected of a line, was when John says, "Careful, Jane. I can push the button anytime I like." Jane says, "Baby, you couldn't find the button with both hands on a map."
Yeah.
Get it, guys? It's a sex joke.
I didn't get that until this watch through. Actually, when I
Oh,
watched it as
yeah.
a kid, I had no idea what that was even referring to. And
Same.
that was really, really
Until I
good.
was 24 on a plane.
Yes.
There was also I do like the curtains exchange, which was
So good.
It was so good. It was
Yes.
if you don't like them, we can take it back. All right, I don't like them. You'll get used to them.
You'll get used to it. Yeah.
I actually was watching it with Kate and I go, "Yup."
Yeah. Dude.
It was,
Oh my
if
God.
I had a nickel.
Great marriage. If you don't like it, we can take it back. I don't like them.
You'll get used to them.
Bold move saying if you're going for it though, bro.
Oh my gosh, that's
Appreciate
great.
it.
Oh,
That is awesome. So I liked it's the little things with Vince Vaughn that I feel like are so relatable, and like when he said this quote, or like when they had this little exchange, it felt like I was saying it. Oh boy.
What was that?
I think my
They're
son
tacking.
very, very much wants to see me. He's having a hard time going to bed. All right. The quote is they're in the diner, and
Yes.
it's so good. So they're like talking or whatever, and Eddie says, "Did you get any other details on her besides her weight class?" And John just goes, "Laptop." And he's like, "I'm sorry, you're in a whole zone right now. I'm having trouble talking to you." And John just goes, "Laptop."
Laptop.
And he goes, "Okay, laptop." Like, you're in a whole zone right now. I'm having trouble talking to you. Like, laptop.
I think in the same vein, another diner scene was where he was like, "Tell me you got smart and that you killed that lying bitch." She's there. "This lying bitch? Guess that was just wishful thinking."
Oh, good,
So
man.
good.
Yeah, honestly, this is like peak. This is peak Vince Vaughn, dude.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
peak. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's timed so well.
Ugh.
Any scene that he's in, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Like,
It's
I
gonna be
forgot
crazy.
what he had said, so it was all fresh. It was great. But something about that, like, you're in a whole zone right now. I'm having trouble talking. And sure enough, it's a Brad Pitt eating scene. He is eating in it,
He is
and it
eating.
is peak. It's great.
I love it.
Love Vince.
So
Vaughn.
good. So good. So
All right.
so great.
Did I
Yeah.
say so good a million times? I'm sorry. It was great.
It was
So
great. It was
good.
great. I mean, and it's
Perfect. Superb.
because there's so much
Mhm.
like improv that
Yes.
you just know it's all about the timing with these things. It's almost like
Yeah.
he's been so good for so long that now Vince Vaughn's tried to do some dramatic roles. Like, remember what he did True Detective? I'm like, dude, I just
Oh,
don't
yeah.
buy it. I just don't
Mhm.
buy it. And also the plot sucks, but also
Yeah, you're waiting for
You're
him to
just
ad
not-
lib something weird.
I'm not scared of you. You're just not scary.
He's not threatening.
yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah,
Love
he's just
that.
not. He's big, but he's not threatening. He's just so soft. It's like Will Ferrell trying to intimidate you. I'm like, no, you can't do it. You're a goofball. All right, Ents Attack, because I named this one because that's
Oh, yeah.
my favorite
I love
scene
it.
ever.
I mean, you named all of them, Trevor.
Well, yeah, but you're right. I did. You're right. I did. But this is my favorite. But who wants
Yeah,
to start
your
off?
favorite.
So, favorite scene / moment / like just little flavor things that some people do. I have a couple good ones.
Okay.
Both from Angelina and Brad, but
Mhm.
Paul, you lead us off with this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna steal a favorite one. I think my favorite scene is the fight scene at the house. Sorry,
So good.
it's great.
It won an
I think
award.
it's so well choreographed. And actually, every scene that they're in that they are fighting is superb. I
Even the
actually
first one when
lost.
they have dinner and it's so super tense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very good. Even to the point where, so the dinner fight scene, obviously amazing. All the different things they do, him faking dying, like
Mhm.
gurgling, whatever.
Clap, clap, clap.
Exactly, like so good. And then there's one scene in particular that I love. One part of one scene is the very end, like the standoff, and it's when they're fighting everyone in slow motion. Obviously, it's a little unrealistic. Like it takes one guy to shoot them from like 50 feet away. I don't know why they can't kill these two, but they're fighting in like a back to back, pistols and everything. And then at one point, Brad takes the shotgun on Angelina's back
Yes,
and uses
such a
it.
good moment.
And I was like, that was sick. That was really dope. So the choreography in this movie is fascinating.
It's
Obviously they have
beautiful.
chemistry, but they have chemistry physically as well, other than the sexual. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun for me.
I love that.
What about you, Noah?
I had a couple. One, obviously, I've already talked about it, but like the scene where Angelina Jolie gets in the car and starts driving away, and he's just running through, and he just trips
Yes.
and hits the fence, and the gun goes off, and he goes, "Dear Mother of God!"
Yeah.
Just that. I know that moment. Not shooting at my wife, obviously.
Excuse me.
But that moment where you're like, "Oh no, I just made something way worse."
Mhm.
And just like that moment of, "Oh God,
Yep.
I fucked up here." And that was that was a good moment, honestly. And I think there was one more. Hold on, I got
Got it written down.
yeah, I got it written down.
My list.
The soundtrack to this, by the way, was just amazing.
Oh yeah.
I loved when they were in the restaurant and she thinks that she's just killed him in the elevator.
Mhm.
And he comes in and they have the dance scene, and it's
Yeah.
just what I love about it is, one, it's a beautiful scene. Two, it's comedic. But three, and this getting real for a second, they literally disarm each other so that they can be vulnerable and have a conversation.
Yeah, it's true. Some physical
Like,
metaphor there.
she
Great metaphor.
finds his
All the time.
pistol, he finds her knife, and they're just completely disarmed on the dance floor. And that's the only way they can have a conversation, is in public, dancing, when they know that neither one of them has a weapon. And I think that's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's very poetic.
Very
Yeah.
I
poetic.
like it. Which actually reminds me of one of my other favorite quotes I totally forgot about. That's all John, baby.
That's all John.
Oh,
Baby.
John, baby.
Just look her straight in the eyes. You cannot tell me nothing happened. There's no way.
Allegedly.
There's no way. Allegedly. There were some of these are my favorites because of how like ridiculous they are. For example, when Jane Smith escapes from the from the building by Mary Poppins down with her bag.
Yep.
And
That
then
was amazing.
somehow it just lands like soft. I'm like, you were falling so fast. Your legs are broken. You're dead, probably, actually.
Just like Tim, your legs are broken.
Your legs are broken. But there's two little things that Brad Pitt did that really he does in other movies. They're kind of part of his thing. But I always love, and it's outside of the eating. One, when he comes out of the shed when she's cleaned out, found his stash and cleaned it out, and he's just like just punching the air.
Yes, just like
And he just does it, and he does it like twice real fast. Damn it! And then another thing, every time she insults him, when he puts out his lower jaw.
Yeah,
like,
that's a Brad Pitt thing.
He's
Yes,
like, and like narrows his eyes, but doesn't make any sound. Like he's holding it in.
yes.
It's just subtle. It's little too. You can't really see it. He does it really slowly, but he did it like 3 or 4 times. Like, yeah, well, you're stupid. Like that's you can tell he just wants. He can't think of anything to say.
On that same note, there's a moment, just not to cut you off there, but on that same note, there's a moment where he knows that she's got him good on something, and he just goes, just like, It's just a full cut to him, just for the.
You got me.
That's a good point. Yes, their micro mannerisms are.
Yeah.
Or when they're trying to outdo each other when he's in the elevator, he's like, you don't know me at all. He found all the charges. He goes, yeah, but did you find the main charge? And he's like, blow it then.
Yeah.
Just blow it. You won't do it.
Just blow it. You won't.
Shit,
You think I will?
forgot. How'd I miss that? It's so funny because there's so many, like, they are so on top of things, and then they just, like, completely mess up.
But then
But
he
yes.
completely had that completely taken care of. It was wild. Did you guys notice in the interrogation scene at the
The
Ville,
motel.
the hotel,
Oh yeah.
where they got Adam Brody, he's wearing a Fight Club shirt.
No,
Adam Brody is.
didn't see that.
He
Yeah.
is.
He is. He's wearing a Fight Club
Nice little
shirt.
Easter egg there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice job.
That's a good one.
There's a couple of things. Like one, just small things. Sorry, Trevor. Are you done with your
Yeah, I'm
scenes? I
done.
didn't
I'm
mean
done.
to cut
Keep
you-
going.
Okay, cool. When they get into bed at the end of the night and they're just like very uncomfortable and pissed off at each other, I noticed, I was like, they look like so close together. They're living in luxury. Why are they? And I looked at
smallest bed.
they're in a queen bed.
It's the smallest bed. Yeah.
It's a small bed. Like,
Yeah.
why do they have a small? There's so much wall space. And then I also noticed that he has like the man cave for all of his guns.
And she just has the oven.
And
Just the
nobody needs a
oven.
second oven.
Yes.
Like, and she just has an oven.
And it's
And it's like
mostly
hers is
knives.
way more compact, and his just like a literal.
He's
man
got a
cave.
bazooka,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
another a great one. He's like, I should definitely not be able to buy one of these.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She should not be able to buy one of these.
Should not be able to buy one of these. Oh God. And just another little two little more Easter eggs. The scenes where like they had just found out that that their significant others were
Mhm.
the enemy. Two different types of consoling from a best friend.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got the Vince Vaughn, I'm going to kill her. Let's
Yeah.
kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Angelina Jolie's best friend in that scene, just listening, very calmly listening, making sure. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Here's a whole bottle of Johnny Walker Red.
She does get to the kill him though. She does get
Yeah.
to like, well, you're gonna kill him. You're gonna love him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a
It'll be
lot.
over.
It was amazing. It was gorgeous.
That
Nice.
was another
Gorgeous.
really subtle. That's a well written movie.
Yeah, they're not wearing their rings by the end of the restaurant scene at the elevator. When they come in to do the dance, they're just not even pretending to have their rings.
Damn, you have seen this movie a few times, huh?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. How?
Okay.
Okay. Well, now we have to. Now I want to hear because you
Yeah.
seem to love it, and just bring us right into nitpicks. You got anything to picking some nits about this
Yeah.
movie? Any little
Um,
things that drive you crazy?
The Mongo Bongo in the soundtrack
Yeah.
is used at the beginning in the when they're at the bodega, and sorry, when they're at the what you call it, why am I blanking on the name of the town that they didn't actually go to?
Bogota.
Bogota, thank you. When they're at Bogota, Mongo Bongo is used, and then they used it one more time, and then they used it again at the end for the final scene. And I think it would have been more impactful in the final scene if they hadn't used it earlier to like signify the false ending of the relationship.
Oh.
I think that they overused the song. It's a great song. It's also a 6-minute song. And so there's plenty of it to use. The only reason I know it's 6 minutes is because I literally just linked it to you guys in Discord.
Wow.
But they overused the song, I think. The soundtrack though is amazing.
It's funny.
Oh, soundtrack's incredible. Yeah.
It is pretty good.
Like a
Any
nitpick.
other? Anything else you got? Anything that didn't age well?
I mean, I don't know. I have an observation, a pick I could knit.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm actually kind of having like a little bit of a hard time with this, and not like a hard time, but so at one point Vince Vaughn is talking to the waitress behind the counter at like the diner or whatever, and he says like, honey, whatever, and asks her for like the specials, clearly hitting on her. I was like, do I feel like he shouldn't say that? Like in the way he said it, did that come off? Did they hit the ear weird? Or am I like
No, he's definitely being
over
misogynist.
analyzing it?
Yeah.
Like,
He was.
well, it was, but then I'm thinking, all right, well, if the roles were switched, right? Let's say that was the guy behind the counter and a woman was doing that. If a woman was like sweetheart or, said some other kind of like endearing whatever,
Yeah.
would I also still think that? So I was like, I don't know if does that make sense? Like, am I conditioned to think that that's wrong?
No, I
Or-
think you're just changing. You're just noticing it every time.
Yeah.
I'm just
And-
noticing whenever it happens, and I feel like I'm hyper aware of it now,
Yeah.
even if it might be okay? And I don't
It was
know. I
probably okay. It was not
Like-
overt in any way, shape, or form.
it wasn't
I
like,
just-
hey, sweet ass, like, can I? You know what I mean? It was,
What's up,
yeah.
toots?
yeah. What's up, tits? Like, I don't know,
Hey,
like
sugar
some
tits.
weird, yeah, sugar tits.
Hey,
I don't know.
kitten.
I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but that's
Like
what
in
I noticed.
Liar, it's not like in Liar Liar when he's like, it's because your boobs are huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I
I wanna
will
squeeze
say, I see what you're coming with, Paul. Like that scene made me a little uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Just because I think at the time it was Vince Vaughn riffing, and it was something that, based on the standards of the time, nobody batted an eye at. And that
Yeah.
now that we are more evolved as a people and community,
Uh-huh.
we're like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a don't use that for an alert, please.
But it's also contextual. I mean, I know this is
Yeah.
a whole side tangent. I don't want to get too deep
no,
into the
we're here
weeds
for it, man.
But my wife was just telling me about an SNL skit in which they did like this whole thing with Chris Rock, where he like got in trouble and had to apologize to his corporate like employees about sexual harassment thing that he did. So he's like saying, you know, I said some very benign thing, and then also, you know, Jeff, the door guy who was like 90, also got in trouble for sexual harassment. But his is like way worse. He's saying way
Yeah.
more egregious things, but all the employees are like, "Oh, he's so cute." But like Chris Rock's character, who's like younger, said something very mild, and it's like, what a piece of trash.
What a
Yeah.
dick.
So I just thought it was an interesting kind of social commentary, and like, when is it appropriate to use that language, and who can use it, and
Yeah.
does it depend on age and how creepy you come off in general?
I agree with you.
Just me thinking out
Just
loud.
do your best.
I don't know.
You know, we're just doing our
What-
best.
Do your best.
dudes.
Trevor, what nits would you pick?
I would say, you know, I know you guys love the sound. Oh, well, okay, so here's a caveat. The
Go ahead.
soundtrack, great. Some of the little like goofy little when something's happening in the beginning, in like the first 30 before they start when they start
Oh,
fighting, it all makes
yeah.
sense. But they doing like the goofy, like it sounds like royalty free goofy music you get on Motion Ray to put in your YouTube video a little bit.
Yeah, like Lay Lady Lay, or
A little
you know,
bit, yeah, a little bit too much. I'm like, okay, we're not in goof. If the movie was like super serious and then turned into it, I think it might have even been. They could have taken it up just a little bit, where they're giving you the impression of seriousness at the beginning, and then it quickly devolves into like that. I think that would have been great. So I was just like, okay, this it's very 2005. I'm like, that didn't age very well. And then all of the technology,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
but that's
sure,
never
yeah.
gonna happen. But like, you know, he's in his office where nobody's with him, and he's like got
Yeah.
his laptop going. I'm like, that's just not. That's why.
Mhm.
Like, it's just
The-
it was just a lot. It was everything was like that.
The audio like synthesizer thing when like his boss was talking to him.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yes.
And it looks like
Yes.
old and shit.
Yes.
It looked old.
The
but
3D
I
model
think that was just
animation of the detonators too. When she like plants the detonators, there's
Yeah.
like a 3D like all
Choo, choo, choo,
armed,
choo.
and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah, and then she unplugs them all, and then the thing drives, and then it goes on again. I'm like,
Because there were two, actually.
Yeah,
There was
there's
two
two.
setups, and
the second
of
was the
course,
backup.
no one knows.
so there was two setups.
He hit you with the actually,
Actually,
because there was two.
because there was one on one side of the zone, one on the other side of the zone, and Brad Pitt's character came in and hit one on the back side of the zone, and she had that just in case, you know, there was a convoy coming the other way. So actually he hit the one coming in. The convoy hit the one coming in, and he's the one he accidentally knocked over the other half.
Yeah, coming in, not subtle at all. Kicking up all kinds of dust. I'm like, you know, the way you can see them, they can see you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
They can see. Yeah.
But yeah,
What I
he's
I
got to be
will
the
say-
not locked in guy. So that was it.
the small note on that one is him pissing on his shoe when he peed on his
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
And that's how
Oh,
she
I thought
figured
there
out that was him.
Some
Yeah, I know.
The way he
It
kicked
was
his
hilarious.
leg, she's
the way
like,
he
wait,
kicked
Wait a second.
I know who pisses like
I know
that.
that idiot. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I will also say that the audio levels in the movie don't age well. The audio mixing was pretty bad,
Yeah,
actually.
at times.
Mm.
There's
You
a
had
lot.
to it was very loud and then very quiet, and they overemphasized, they used audio mixing to emphasize dialogue options. They made it very quiet on serious stuff and then very loud and boisterous on
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
comical stuff, and it just leads to you having to change the volume the whole time on modern televisions. So
And some of the action sequences were a little bit on the way of like Austin Powers, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just sound effects and just like the loudness of everything.
Yeah.
They're like, we need the sound effect for every single thing that's going to break right now, and jam it all together. And that happened a couple times just to give it the big like da 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 like craziness. Which at times you're like, okay, I get it. I have bows now. We have a bow system, so we need to.
Nice.
Chill. Okay, recast. Let's do some recasting. Who wants to go first?
I'll cast Mr. Smith.
No, dang it.
Well, I have one for everybody. So
Okay, good.
you guys want to
Donald
rotate
Glover.
this like around?
Son
Yeah,
of
I
a-
like that. I like that. Who's
Yeah,
doing it?
Donald Glover.
All right, my
Donnie G?
for Mr. Smith is
I also have Donald Glover.
Idris Elba.
Ooh.
If he can't be 007, might as well be Mr. Smith.
You know who else would be a really good Mr. Smith is Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon, the one with all the kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's smooth like butter, baby.
used to be
Well,
Mr.
now-
Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
That's a pretty solid, especially into
Okay.
05.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
respectfully disagree, but I hear what you're saying. Like I hear where you're coming from.
okay, cool.
Donald Glover. I like Idris Elba too. I
Okay,
think
cool.
you know what? I'm going to put this out here, Paul. Please let me know what you think, or make sure this is. I'm okay saying this actually.
Okay.
It's not going to be that. I think Idris Elba is the black version of Jason Statham.
Whoa! Come on, man. Seriously?
Yeah, he's that cool.
Oh, you gotta cut that from the show. That's
and
awful.
less bald.
You'd say that.
Less bald.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that. I mean, personally, I think Idris Elba a little more attractive than Jason Statham, but
He's much more attractive than Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. They both kind of have that unique voice. They're both pretty rugged.
They have similar accents too.
They do.
Yeah.
I hear you. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's a fair
And
assessment.
he's in action stuff, and he's a DJ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You know that Idris Elba is like a touring DJ.
Idris Elba is like amazing.
Yeah, he does Ibiza constantly. He's like a residency.
You just say Ibiza with the TH?
Is it Ibiza?
Ibiza. You gotta say it like the Spanish people do. It's Barcelona too. So that's what Spaniards say. That's how they pronounce it. Ibiza.
I know it is.
I guess you
Said
would
it real
know.
hard.
Is that what your
Ibiza.
brother-in-law says? Is that how he says it? Is
He's
that
from Argentina, so
Yeah.
okay?
I love you
He's
so
not
much,
a
Joey
Spaniard.
Jay.
He's Argentinian.
What do they speak in Argentina? Wait, Portuguese.
They speak
Portuguese?
Spanish, and they speak a similar dialect, yes, but it's not. Brazil's
Oh,
Portuguese.
Brazil's Portuguese. Yeah, yeah.
Brazil's Portuguese. There it is. And now we know.
And now we know. Okay, so we both had Donald Glover. Alternatively, I mean, he is, but like it just come on, it's
Yeah, it's
perfect.
perfect.
Of course,
It's a perfect
of
role
course.
for him. There's a reason he did it. Okay, Mrs. Smith. I have one that you guys definitely don't have. What are we doing here? How do you, Noah? You got one for Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, I got Maya Erskine.
Oh,
Maya Erskine.
pretty
Who
good.
plays Mrs. Smith in the TV series Rampage.
Maya's good. She's good. I have a better
Okay.
version.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, better.
I have Dyken Lackman. She is. You guys seen Severance?
No, I
yes.
haven't.
I've seen
She
the first
is
season.
the wellness supervisor in that. She's also in Altered Carbon.
Mm-hmm.
She is the main guy's in the first season sister.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
Woo!
But if you see her in Severance, you're like, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, no,
That
she was on
sounds- yeah.
Severance.
And she's a badass, and she does karate or she does martial arts and shit. So she's like
That's
an action
dope.
star already. I think she'd be great. And do we have an Eddie? Do you have an Eddie?
Oh, okay. I guess I just want to do Mrs. Smith. That's
Do you
cool.
have
Yeah,
Mrs.
that's
Smith,
fine.
Paul?
No, that's cool, dude.
Who's Mrs. Smith? Usually you only have one. I'm sorry.
Oh my,
You
that's
trained
true.
me.
That's fair. Zoe Saldana, I think would be a good.
Oh my
Mrs. Smith.
god, that's a good pick.
Yeah. And honestly, if she's in it, I think the movie immediately makes $1 billion because that's just how she rolls.
Yeah.
If she's in it, it's gonna be $1 billion.
She could be green, and she'll make that. Oh, that sounds like
Just get a painter green, painter purple, boom, $1 billion.
Wait, no.
You have an Eddie? No.
I really don't.
Hard to
Just
deliver
went
the
Jamie
lines.
Foxx.
Oh,
Jamie Foxx would be-
Jamie Foxx would be so good.
Jamie Foxx would be really good.
Jamie Foxx living with his mom. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes, dude,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Doing the shotgun thing too.
If
I will kill
if
you right now. Like, yeah, he can totally.
If-
He can do the same lines. It
He
would be
could.
great.
If he wasn't oversaturated in every market right now, I'd say Kevin Hart.
Oh, sure, but he's in everything.
He's in everything, so it would just take away. It would be the Kevin Hart show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I would put Kevin Hart for the Adam Brody character.
Yeah,
Yes, he'd be perfect for that. Super annoying and like
Yeah, annoying,
Sassy.
scary. Thinks he's really cool, but he's
super
not.
annoying.
Yeah.
yeah, super annoying. Yeah,
God.
And then what about Jasmine? She's not in very much, but
she's not in it a whole lot.
Jasmine was the best friend of Mrs.
yeah,
Smith.
Kerry Washington.
So
I went with Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich. Wait.
She's the one
Yeah.
from Fifth Element and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
What the frick? What is the name of that actress? She's a comedian. She's a little heavier set, and she was in everything in the tens.
Oh,
Every comedy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I love Melissa McCarthy. She's so.
She could be great.
She is one of the best improv monologues ever. Have you seen This Is 40?
Yes.
This is 40. No.
Where they like she's the mom of a kid, and like Paul Rudd and Judd Apatow's wife, I can't remember her name, are like got in her face, and so they had a parent teacher conference with the principal, and she just goes on a tirade and just improvs the whole thing, and they break the whole time. Paul Rudd, and they can't stop laughing.
Really? Oh my gosh!
He goes,
Okay,
I
I
want
gotta
to
see this.
jackknife you both in the face with my foot bone. I kick you in the face with my foot bone.
I think Taylor Tomlinson would be a good
Ooh, that'd be good.
Jasmine.
Oh yeah, Taylor Tomlinson. Sure.
She'd be phenomenal, especially in today's market.
Mm.
Another Eddie on the recasting. I was just thinking about it. I would love to see Ryan Reynolds play Eddie
Okay, I can see
because
that.
it would be a different vibe. It'd be more like the smarmy. But I think that what'd be
Yeah.
interesting is if like you paired that with like a smooth. It's like smooth and smooth, but like different styles. I think that could be really good.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think he takes over a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then
He's a
again,
strong personality.
he's in Blade Trinity,
Vince
and everyone
Vaughn?
loved that movie.
Oh God.
I mean, what a hit.
All right, well, great. Okay, what about budget? How we do in the budget, real quick, before we get out of here?
It was 110 mil. Made
They-
485. I think the budget was well used.
I feel
I think
like
it's a
they
10.
nailed it.
Yeah.
10.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give him a 10 too, because I mean, you got Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt probably at the peak of their earning potential.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Brad's
he
still at
just
the
went
peak
over
of his
100
earning.
mil.
Yeah. So there's 100 right there, and then they spent 10 on everything else.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
they
true.
did
Like
a
they
great
couldn't
job.
buy a second car for a chase scene.
Yeah.
That's
And they
true.
blew everything up, and the stunts were great, and they're all practical. $10 million, not bad. Great job. All right, final rating across the
10.
board. You give it a 10? Okay. No, give it a 10.
9.69.
We haven't had that high of a rating
6
since
to-
PM gave frickin' 2012 a 10.
Oh my god.
Him has bad opinions.
Yes, he does. 'Cause that movie is
Sorry.
horrible.
Because he loved
movie's terrible.
2012 and he hated the Fellowship of the Ring. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Couldn't even finish it.
couldn't finish it, dude. Yeah, he
In
was.
his defense, it is the most plotting of them, but like, dude, the
But
bell
come
rocks
on.
it. What are you doing?
yeah. It was a
Into
lot.
the
A lot. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this one. I mean, it's really good. It's like you said, it's rewatchable, which makes it at least a 7. And Will Ferrell's in it, and he's hilarious. I'm gonna give this a like a.
It's fun.
What did I say?
It's fun.
It's fun.
You said Will Ferrell.
Did I say Will Ferrell? I was
That's
thinking Will Ferrell as Eddie. Actually, that's why I queued him up as
yeah.
a second Eddie. Vince Vaughn was great. I'm gonna give it a 7-8.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, solid. A lot of fun.
I concur. I'm going to give it a 7.6, simply just because there's a little bit of 2005ness, and I don't necessarily I can't really get myself there as much these days. But really fun. It's a really fun movie. It's a great time. And I'm glad that great pick.
Yeah.
Good
Great
pick.
pick, Noah.
I'm so happy that you guys were down for this one. It's a good film. Like, thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank the
Of course.
Academy of you too.
Of course, we do this because honestly, bringing a guest on, having them choose, and then getting to go revisit the movie. Eventually, we're gonna run into one to what was the movie that you were talking about, the Studio Ghibli? Because we got it. I think we need to do a Studio Ghibli theme because
All
it's
right.
just too big of a thing.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna come back on. I'm just announcing it. Sorry.
Okay. Later this year.
And we're gonna do a Ghibli, and I want it to be Pompoko.
But is it a Miyazaki
I actually don't know.
or is it somebody else?
Let me check.
Paul, you know about all this, right? The Studio Ghibli and
Oh, I'm familiar now that
It was Takahata.
okay.
What's
So
the
it's
most
not
what's the
it's
most
not one-
famous one?
Probably Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. There it is. Yes.
Yeah, Spirited Away is really good. Pompoko is phenomenal. Porco Rosso is also.
I
a
like
really good
Porco
one.
Rosso more, the Italian pig that
But
speaks in an
have
English
you seen
accent.
Pompoko?
I haven't seen Pompoko yet.
I've not seen it.
Kate,
Yeah,
Kate has seen pretty much all Studio Ghibli. She's not seen Pompoko.
Wow.
So, but they get crazy, and
Tell us in the comments, chat.
the less known ones get even crazier. So we will watch that at some point.
Okay, cool.
We will do. Yeah, we'll have like we'll have a run of animated, and we got to do Ghibli,
Love it.
especially because they're just so weird. They're so weird.
I love them.
Judging by what you told us, it's pretty weird. So
Raccoon nuts. That's your preview.
can't wait. There's
Okay.
raccoon testicles in it. All right, that's all you get. Paul, when you take us to the finish line, take us in.
I'd be honored to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, boys and girls, folks from around the world, because I know our audience is from every corner, every inch, especially Bogota. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the May Contain Action podcast with special guest Noah, aka my lawyer friend. We'll be live with another episode here soon. Trevor, do we lock in the next one? What we're doing?
Noah, who do we have? Who did you grab for us?
Feel free to edit this in case I didn't grab them properly. But Johnny Stanton for Draft Day.
Draft Day.
Ooh,
Back to our
nice,
sports
nice.
roots. It's about. I remember now. We're getting close. It's going to be around the division series, I believe, or the division games in the NFL
Yep,
playoffs.
division games.
And so makes a lot of sense. And it's been a very long time since I've been seen Draft Day. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And he can tell us a little bit of stuff about it.
About the
Draft Day.
NFL, like being in the NFL.
Perfect.
So
he is a player, ex-player, and
former player. Yeah, now does D&D.
and now he's as one does.
Very good. Well, Noah, thanks for keeping us on track. Again, thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to rate us wherever you can rate us. Give us 5 stars. Leave a comment if you liked it. Let us know if you didn't like it. Tell your enemy, as Noah says. We will see you on the next episode where we're watching Draft Day.